A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a dramatic display of military might, President Donald Trump celebrated both his 79th birthday and the 250th anniversary of the United States Army with a grand military parade in Washington, D.C. on Saturday. The event, which showcased thousands of troops, vehicles, and aircraft, was met with heavy security and a wave of protests across the nation, marking a day of stark division in American society. As tanks and aircraft paraded past the White House, Trump declared the United States the hottest country in the world, amidst cheers of "USA" from his supporters. However, the festivities were overshadowed by a tragic incident earlier in the day, where a Democratic lawmaker was assassinated in Minnesota, leading to heightened tensions and fears of political violence. The military parade, which cost an estimated $25 million to $45 million, drew criticism from various quarters, with detractors labeling it an extravagant display of authoritarian power. Critics highlighted the irony of Trump's lavish celebration amidst his calls for slashing federal spending. This spectacle was an idea Trump had proposed during his first term after witnessing a similar event in Paris in 2017, but it only materialized this year, coinciding with the Army's anniversary. Before the parade commenced, hundreds of thousands of demonstrators rallied nationwide, denouncing Trump as a dictator and voicing their dissent against his administration's policies. The protests, organized by a group called No Kings, represented the largest turnout since Trump's return to power in January and were particularly pronounced in cities like Los Angeles, New York, and Philadelphia. In Los Angeles, where protests had been ongoing due to Trump's immigration policies, demonstrators clashed with National Guard troops deployed to maintain order. The unrest was a direct response to a series of federal deportation raids that had incited anger among local communities. Protesters expressed their outrage over the separation of families and the harsh treatment of immigrants, with many calling for a defense of democracy. Despite the protests, opinion polls indicate that Trump's immigration policies maintain a level of support among the public. A recent CBS/YouGov survey revealed that 54% of Americans approve of his approach to deporting undocumented immigrants, while 42% believe his policies contribute to their safety. As Trump watched the parade from a bulletproof viewing stand, he saluted the troops and thanked them for their service, emphasizing the military's resilience and commitment. The parade featured nearly 7,000 troops, 150 vehicles, and various military equipment, tracing the history of the Army from the Revolutionary War to modern-day conflicts. The juxtaposition of a grand military celebration against the backdrop of nationwide protests raised questions about the current state of American democracy and the use of military force in civil unrest. Security expert Barbara Starr noted that the polarization surrounding immigration issues and the deployment of troops to manage protests cast a shadow over the parade, which was intended to honor military service. In Minnesota, the assassination of the Democratic lawmaker led to the cancellation of planned protests, as Governor Tim Walz urged caution in light of the violent act. The suspect remains at large, prompting fears of further political violence. While some attendees of the parade expressed pride in the military and a desire to honor those who have served, others viewed the event as a costly vanity project for the president. The last military parade in the U.S. occurred in 1991 under President George H.W. Bush, celebrating the victory in the Gulf War, and the turnout for Saturday's event was significantly lower than expected, partly due to inclement weather. As the nation grapples with deep political divisions, the events of Saturday serve as a stark reminder of the contentious climate surrounding Trump's presidency. The No Kings protests reflect widespread dissatisfaction with perceived abuses of power, while the military parade underscores the administration's focus on projecting strength and patriotism at a time of social unrest. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.